On the final night of a year unlike any other, full of change and challenges, the top two teams in the ACC collide on the eve of a new year of promise and hope. It's the Pack and Jackets in the ACC. This is ACC College Hoops from Atlanta, Georgia. The bright lights of New Year's Eve as we celebrate women's basketball in the ACC. The #3 team in the nation is in town. It's NC State and Georgia Tech here at McCamish Pavillion. NC State has won the last 5 meetings between the teams right here in Atlanta. It is so great to have you with us for our game tonight. Tom Wormy along with Debbie Antonelli. This is the one and only regular season meeting between the teams. But last year they played twice. Georgia Tech won in the regular season. NC State won at the ACC tournament, and they get back at it again tonight, Deb.
Come on, Tom. We're going to break it down right. This is going to be unbelievable. Now, remember, NC State's the #3 team in the country. They are outstanding. They're 8-0, and they check all the boxes as what could be a Final Four team, and they're really going to get tested today. Let's start with their star player, Elisa Cunane, averages a double-double in ACC play, and the Pack is 3-0 in conference play. NC State plays to her and through her on the block. She is outstanding around the rim. She has pick-and-pop skill where she made 3 triples in the last game. She's versatile around the rim. When she quickly goes to her move and finishes with that 6'5" frame, she is tough to deal with, and she's the focus of both teams. On the other side, Lorella Kubai is going to have some defensive responsibility, but she's going to have to put pressure on Cunane off the bounce with her post-up ability, with her ability to steal inside. Lorella Kubai is the #1 rebounder in the ACC, and she is tough on the boards. Let's start with the Toyota starting lineups and Georgia Tech. We told you about Kubai, but how about Lotamai Lahtinen, averaging almost 15 points per game. She had 19 to lead the team in that victory in their most recent game, and that was here against Notre Dame. The Toyota starting lineup for Wes Moore for the NC State Wolfpack. Kayla Jones, #25, making her 40th straight start tonight. Shoots 57% from the floor. That's 5th best in the ACC for the undefeated and #3 team in the country, NC State Wolfpack. Most recently playing December 20th against Miami at home and winning 78-57. Pack in the black. Georgia Tech is in the white. Georgia Tech starts out in a man-to-man defense. NC State goes to a horn set and right inside to Cunane, who counters with the left. So Cunane gets the scoring started. Such a steady performer, averaging close to 16 points per game, 9th in the conference, and almost 8 boards as well. Kubai with a turnaround, and she gets us off bounds. Hey, that's what's going to be fun about tonight, is watching that matchup right there. That's what I'm talking about. Kubai has to put it on the bounce, use her footwork, attack Cunane on the defensive end. Lorella Kubai, the senior from Terni, Italy. It's in central Italy, about 100 kilometers north of Rome. Here she is in Atlanta. NC State has the ability to put a lot of pressure on you with their transition game. They'll run the floor hard. They'll force matchup opportunities right away because of their transition. Turnaround rattles home after that 31-point win on December 20th against Miami. 78-57, and they out-rebounded the Canes 48-29. And 30-14 points in the paint, dominating performance, and they're perfect 3-0 in conference play. Jones will bring it up. Helps their transition game not to need an outlet pass. All 5 players can get it off the glass and motor up the floor. Brown Turner was driving in, got fouled. That's love on the personal for the freshman. You know, Tom, when I talk about NC State putting pressure on you with their offense, all 5 can shoot the 3, so their spacing is terrific, and they all can go off a closeout and score off the bounce. They're very talented on the offensive end. Crutchfield on the dribble. Perez the entry. Cunane over the shoulder and in. Smooth inside for the big smile. Hey, I knew another player at NC State that could score with their right and score with their left. They were amphibious. You ever remember Charles about Shackelford, because that's what she's done so far.
Knocked out of bounds by Perez.
Watch this move right here. 2 strong dribbles, takes her defender under the rim, spins back over that left shoulder. That half hook is really important for her to continue to develop.
Able to get around Adonis. And now a turnover. Crutchfield has it, going the other way for NC State. As a team, they shoot 48% from the floor. That is second best in the ACC. They're also second in three-point shooting, and they get one out of the corner for the Pack. Jakia Brown-Turner.
So Jakia Brown-Turner fakes like she's going to back cut. And because Cunane made a pass with 2 hands, Jakia Brown-Turner was able to get back to the three-point line to be wide open. That's that spacing I'm talking about. It's a lot to deal with.
Brown-Turner is the leading three-point shooter for NC State. That's her 13th made on the season in 33 tries, and she'll run it up. Sophomore from Oxon Hill, Maryland. Perez, the pull-up. Timeout on the court from Coach Fortner.
This is the balance of NC State. A 9-point early lead. 4 of the 5 starters for the Wolfpack have already scored in the game.
ACC Hoops is brought to you by CPI Security. The Fresh Market. Discover the best today. And Continental Tire, for what you do.
The holiday lights in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. Wishing everyone a very happy 2021. 6:53 to go. 11-2. 5 of 6 from the floor for NC State.
Well, they've got great balance. You see that fake back cut by Jakia Brown-Turner, who's being defended by Lorella Kubai right now. So that's a post player guarding a perimeter player. And that's just a smart read. As you see, the Wolfpack is second in the league in field goal and three-point percentage to Virginia Tech. And the best free throw shooting team in the ACC is Boston College.
NC State is also second in the conference in threes made per game, as they make 8 per game. In fact, they've made 20 coming into today in their last 2 games.
Well, you know what, Tom, that's a good combination for Georgia Tech to see if they can defend, because they're second best in the league in defending the three-point line. You've got to really guard one-on-one. NC State does such a good job of spacing that they can easily get you in rotation, which can get them to the offensive glass.
Georgia Tech is 2-0 in conference play as well, and they've also made 23s in their 2 previous games in ACC play.
And welcome back, Kiera Fletcher. First time she has played this season, out with an injury. And I know Georgia Tech is glad to have her back, and you see her impact instantly off the bounce.
She led him in scoring in that tournament game in the quarterfinals a season ago in Greensboro against the eventual champs NC State, as Kiera Fletcher had 15 points, tied for the team high, and had 9 rebounds. Here's our Honda dealers of the Carolina startup. Kiera Fletcher starting it up for 2020-2021, what she did last year, double-digit scorer.
And this is going to bring incredible experience and depth to the perimeter. You can see Fletcher right away having an impact. Scores off the timeout. And Nell Fortner runs a little screen in the middle of the floor for her to get her to the rim. Again, going left, putting a foul on Elisa Cunane. You got to guard her and keep her in front. You do not want to allow penetration and force Cunane into having to defend that off the bounce. And Fletcher is not known as a three-point threat. She's very good off the dribble.
Has over 800 points in her Georgia Tech career. Senior from Warren, Michigan. Also has 4 career double-doubles, and she's added to the offensive mix early on for Georgia Tech with a couple of free throws. Approaching the 6-minute mark of our first quarter of action. Tom Wormy, Debbie Antonelli, and our outstanding ACC women's basketball production crew with you on New Year's Eve in a whistle and foul. Tonight it's Denise Brooks, Tierra Cruz, Talisa Green, our officiating crew. Fletcher picked up the foul, her first. So Perez on the inbounds. glass and good on the spinning move there.
So skilled.
Brown Turner.
High level of basketball IQ. Best perimeter defender, great length. And she's got Lottinen defensively, does Jakia Brown Turner.
Brown Turner had her career high of 23 points in a game against Wake Forest in a victory earlier this season for the Pack. They want to run with Perez. A little 2-on-2 action. Crosses over and puts it off the glass and in.
I mean, Perez is an excellent decision maker at a high rate of speed. She's only turned the ball over 6 times the entire year. That's just amazing early on that she has 35 assists and 6 turnovers to lead the ACC in assist turnover margin. Watch this right here. You've got numbers. She makes such a good job of playing the game off 2 feet, gets it high off the glass. That is a prolific scorer who has added playmaking ability to her skill set while at NC State.
Graduate student Raina Perez, transfer from Cal State Fullerton. 5'4" guard from Goodyear, Arizona. Driving, finding a lane and laying it in. And
see, this is what I love about Nell Fortner. She's found something that works. She's changed the personnel around, but the middle screen and roll, NC State has not defended 3 times in a row, and Georgia Tech has scored each time on it.
Maine with a turnaround. Lotamai Lahtinen, number 31 in white, the junior from Helsinki, Finland. A lot of international flavor in this lineup for Georgia Tech.
I would post up Kubai and try to get another foul on Cunane.
This is Kubai stepping back, rattles out, and Cunane pulls it in. Cunane averages close to 8 rebounds per game. Little hesitation move, up and in. Kayla Jones making the move for the Pack.
You see, that's part of the versatility for Wes Moore. He can invert his guards to the block. You got to play him straight up. You usually never bring help to a perimeter player in a post-up. And they're getting a one-on-one opportunity. And there again, that's 4 times to the left. And they have scored each time. See, that's Nell Fortner. You're not overcoaching it right there. You found something that works. You keep going to it until NC State figures out a way to stop it.
Soft bounce, and it'll fall. It's Jones with the jumper. So Lotamai Lahtinen at one end, Jones at the other end for the Pack.
And they're taking advantage of the size of Perez, so she's got to do a better job of keeping Lahtinen in front.
Long range three, it goes down.
I love it. Lahtinen, that's smart, because she's been able to go off the bounce, going left, and now Perez is worried about the high ball screen, and she leaves that cushion.
Cut the lead to 6, her 10th made 3 of the season, and there's a timeout on the floor.
See, Perez, watch. She's worried about the screen up top because she's getting beat on it, and not just her, the rest of her team is as well. And Lahtinen does a smart thing, gets that cushion, has incredible 3-point range.
Also averages 4.5 assists per game, 3rd best in the ACC, getting her teammates involved. Career high 27 points in the win against Boston College, where she made 5 3-pointers. This time they collapsed defensively. Jones was over there. Georgia Tech is going to keep possession after the drive.
And Wes Moore has a lot of confidence in Camille Hobby, and he puts her in the game right here to do a better job moving her feet. And that's great help by Jones rotating over from the weak side.
It's a great view also from Stanchion Cam right under the bucket. Jones comes away with it. Lahtinen's got 7 points. The rest of the team has 6. Crutchfield. Jones trying to find some space. Perez dribbles through traffic, gave it off. And the pass out of the clutches of Camille Hobby.
You got to have your hands ready with Perez. I love the balance in her game. Because she was the Big West Player of the Year last year at Cal State Fullerton and averaged over 20 points a game, she comes here to NC State and easily fits right into the 4-out, 1-in system that features a balanced offensive attack.
Georgia Tech with its 4-1 record on the season. 3-1 at home, deep into the shot clock. Knocked away, Brown Turner. Got teammates helping her out. Perez, the shot, a little too strong. Brown Turner launching, and that's a three.
Really unselfish by Kai Crutchfield, too. Had a good look, but a better three-point shooter. Jakia Brown-Turner, 58% outside the three-point line.
2 for 2 on the night, and 8 points for Brown-Turner, the leading scorer for NC State, as the whistle stops play.
Watch the rebound on the weak side. Kayla Jones kicks it out wide open, but forces the pass over to the other side so Jakia Brown-Turner can get a wide open look, and she's got a smooth stroke for a lefty.
Foul was called on Kayla Jones of NC State.
NC State does lead the league in assists too, Tom.
There's a reason they're undefeated in number 3 in the nation. By the way, the best national rank for the Pack since 2000. Lotzinen on the dribble. Perez, active defending. Foul called on NC State. That's Perez, her second. So she's going to have to exit the ball game. Kayla Jones coming in for Perez.
And Jada Boyd on the floor as well for NC State.
That win for Georgia Tech in their last game, Sunday, December 13th at Notre Dame. The first ever win against Notre Dame in program history for Georgia Tech, as that one goes out of bounds. And it will be Wolfpack basketball. Georgia Tech's working on a 3-game winning streak. Second-year head coach Nell Fortner. Wonderful conversation with her earlier today.
Every conversation with Nell.
So entertaining.
Yes, it's upbeat. It's enthusiastic. She loves her team. She loves being back in the game on this side of the game. On the other side of the court from us.
Jada Boyd on the drive. It was interesting what she said about her favorite thing about being around the team, especially in these challenging times. All the chit-chat and the interaction between her team, building those bonds in a very different setting than usual.
She loves the camaraderie. She really enjoys that part of it. She's got a great staff. She's got a hard-working group of kids that are having a good time.
Fletcher missed the 3. Jones on the gallop. Late in the first quarter. NC State by 11. Trying to dictate these closing seconds with Crutchfield on the dribble. Boyd will turn around and fire. Not a problem on that. 26-13 after 1. NC State. 71% from the floor, Debbie, in that first quarter. Incredible. What a start. Can Coach Fortner's team come back on New Year's Eve?
ACC Hoops is brought to you by the Works Landroid Robotic Lawnmower. Step into the future of lawn care and check mowing off your to-do list for good. Available at mylandroid.com. And Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today.
Atlantic Station, just north of the Georgia Tech campus, and the Holiday Light Show still ongoing, and the Wolfpack putting on a shooting show in that first quarter. 71% from the floor. And the Pack went 2 for 3 from long distance. Brown-Turner, 8 points, leading everybody.
Hey, Tommy, outdoor lights or indoor lights? I prefer the indoor ones, especially when they're striping the nets like this. 71%, are you kidding me? What an incredible hot start. And then this play right here, that middle pick and roll, the middle third. Nell Fortner's team did a great job of scoring. That is where their points have come from. Either the middle pick and roll, or Lottinen's ability to read that middle pick and roll, or Fletcher's ability to get to the free throw line off that set.
Lottinen made the only 3 in that first quarter for Georgia Tech and leads the way with 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting. 5 different Wolfpack players scoring in that first quarter. 2 for 3 from long distance. Brown Turner was 2 for 2 on 3-point attempts and made all 3 of her field goal attempts as well in the first quarter. Here we go with quarter number 2 from McCamish Pavillion, Atlanta, Georgia. And before the shot, it's a foul against Georgia Tech.
And that's on Kubai, and that's why she is right now the leading contender for captain of the all-screen team in the ACC. Because sometimes you get away with it, and sometimes you don't. But you will lose daylight running into one of her screens, and she will get you open.
6'4" senior from Italy, and nobody can stop Brown Turner, and she's got a chance at the old-school 3-point play.
Westmore can put her anywhere on the floor, and she can produce. I think she's a first-team All-ACC performer early in the season. Rejects the screen, drives hard. That big, strong frame can play through contact at the rim.
So Fletcher picked up her second personal foul. 72% from the line on the season, Brown Turner. Might have had a lane violation there, Debbie. Didn't you lead the league one year in lane violations?
No, I led the league in
back at NC State.
Yeah,
Come on.
No, I'm the best non-stat starter in NC State history.
A technical foul from the bench one time?
I did get that. That's part of the reason why. But I did shoot free throws when the other team got technicals. That's the only time I ever got to the line.
Is there video proof of that?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Black and white, reel to reel, maybe, but it's
Get out the microfiche machine, right?
Yes,
okay.
The microfiche.
Lotzinen on the drive. There was a foul. So Crutchfield picks up that personal foul. Opening stages of our second quarter. Georgia Tech is in the white. NC State's in the black. Shot clock at 10 for Georgia Tech.
Keep your eye on number 3 in white, Sarah Bates. She's a really good 3-point shooter for Georgia Tech.
Second chance, it'll drop, and a chance at a 3-point play.
So when Nell Fortner goes with this big lineup, when you've got Hermosa at 6'5" and Kubai at 6'4", this is a bruising, punishing. They go to the glass, they post up hard. Their detail on their screening action is outstanding. Let me tell you something, Tommy. If we ever need security detail, I'm hiring those two.
Hermosa, not a lot of experience from the line this season, just her 5th attempt, and now 2 for 5 on the year from the stripe. Hermosa, the sophomore from Vitoria, Spain.
I love their toughness. I love their competitiveness.
How about a 3 from Jones?
How about it? NC State is really clicking on offense. They're getting whatever they want, and it's not necessarily because Georgia Tech is not doing a decent job contesting. It's that NC State is that good on the offensive end.
Bates has the miss out of the corner for 3 for Georgia Tech. So NC State is now 3 for 4 from beyond the arc after that last 3 going down for Jones. That was her first 3-point attempt. Georgia Tech was whistled for a personal. Hermosa picks up the foul. The 6'5" sophomore in the middle. Number 20 in white. Jones ready to pull that trigger.
Wow. Wow. Do they look like the number 3 team in the country?
Just launching away.
They look pretty good to me.
Hoisting 3-pointers and making most of them. And a turnover. Jones with the steal. They're shooting 75% from the floor. Boyd, well defended. This Kubai defending. And running the floor. Lotzinen found her, but Kubai just couldn't gather and score. She's taking some deep breaths out there, hustling up and down the court.
And Nell Fortner spoke to us this morning about how great a shape Kubai is in and how tough a competitor she is. And
2 players go to the floor, Lotzinen and Crutchfield, and the arrow is going to favor the NC State Wolfpack.
What Wes Moore has at NC State is what looks like an offensive machine tonight, that's for sure. I mean, he can call out anything he wants. He can get any matchup he needs. They can score inside. They can score on the elbows. They shoot the three exceptionally well.
Boyd was in traffic off the inbounds. Got it to Hobby, who missed the short-range jumper. NC State out in front, 35-15, working on an 8-game winning streak in conference games and 13 overall going back to last season. They are the defending champs at our ACC tournament. It's going to bounce out of bounds. Debbie, I'm saying it now. I'm going to meet you in Greensboro, early March. You better be there.
I'll be there.
All right.
I can't wait.
Along with all our stellar production staff and the institutions in the ACC. It'll be 14 teams if we can get that far.
NC State will get to do something they haven't done in 29 years, and that is defend their ACC tournament championship.
Had 14 wins in the ACC last season, most in school history, and went 28-4. And that was Boyd going up and getting fouled.
So NC State has been able to build this 20-point first half lead with Elisa Cunane mostly sitting on the bench after picking up that first foul. She has 4 points. She scored early, but she's back on the floor right now.
AC Carter picked up the foul for Georgia Tech. And Jada Boyd is our Hardy's star to watch, sophomore from Petersburg, Virginia.
She missed 4 games. This is her 3rd game back. Last year she was on the all-ACC freshman team, and she averaged about 15 minutes a game. And Wes Moore continues to work and find ways to get her on the floor. He loves her athleticism.
Had a double-double in the very first game of the season against North Florida for Boyd. Her teammates on a run. Brown Turner, smooth and silky to the rim. And Coach Fortner wants a timeout. It's now a 10-0 scoring run for NC State.
NC State is playing freely with experience and an aggressive mindset. Big lead in the first half.
39-15. Wolfpack in front here in the second quarter with 6:36 to go. We wish everyone happy holidays and all the best in the new year. And Jones has come to play tonight. 2 for 2 from long distance and 5 for 5 from the floor.
I mean, I love the way she's seeking shots in the offense. She can put it on the floor. She gets her feet set under her shoulders. She's got range. She can cross you up off the bounce. There's a senior playing with an incredible sense of urgency. Wants to play deep into the NCAA tournament.
A couple of threes tonight. That's 13 made on the season. And her shooting percentage from beyond the arc to start the night was 58%. She's knocked down a couple of threes during the course of the first half.
Well, while NC State is number 3 in the country, do not forget about number 2 in the nation. That's the Louisville Cardinal. Look at this record right here. Jeff Walls' team has not played since December 10th. And he is out there hunting schedule and hunting games. But he's got the ACC's best offense and the best scorer in the league, the only 20-point-per-game scorer, last year's ACC Player of the Year in Dana Evans. And January 17th, just put it on the calendar right now. That's NC State and Louisville when they meet. That's a Sunday. That's a big game in the league.
Back to the action between Georgia Tech and NC State. Three-pointer comes up short. Volleyballed around. Right back to Carter. The miss. Loftinen. Perez back in the game. 2 personal fouls. Cunane in there, number 33 in black. And they run it to perfection, and Cunane finishes it off.
Beautiful. Weak side, busy, takes the help away. A little 2-man game. It's ball reversal into a ball screen. It's simple action for Wes Moore.
Three-pointer at the other end. Loftinen knocking down a 3-ball. Georgia Tech might need a few more of those to get back into this one. Kanane is off the mark with the three-pointer. She can extend the range, as Debbie mentioned.
Well, they missed Hermosa. She had a deep seal on Kanane.
Kanane made 3 three-pointers in the win against Miami in the most recent victory for NC State and led the way with 18 points against the Canes. That was Kubai trying to pull down that rebound.
Watch this ball reversal into a ball screen, and you see how she gets to the rim. She doesn't have to open to the ball. You're trying to get to the roll and sprint to the lane, or sprint to the rim as quickly as you can. A lot of people teach that ball screen roll in different ways. Some open up to the ball, some just get there as quickly as you can, and that's what Kanane did.
10 points for Lotamai Lahtinen and a couple of made threes. Kanane at the free throw line. 86%, 8th in the ACC for the junior from Summerfield, North Carolina.
She knew in the offseason that she was going to have to improve her physicality, improve her stamina, and she's done those things. And she is tougher than she looks. I call her Big Smile because she's so infectious the way she plays. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with somebody that enjoys the game as much as she does?
She's got 7 points in the first half, 3 of 5 from the floor, and 3 rebounds. Carter lining up that jumper. There's a 3 attempt from Carter. Foul on the aftermath after the miss. It's going to be against Georgia Tech as we'll walk to the other end of the court.
Well, Kubai doesn't want to get in foul trouble. They need her. She's not fouled out of any games this season. She's only fouled out of 4 in her entire career. Well, it looks like both players are wrapping up right there. That's unfortunate for Nell Fortner and Georgia Tech.
Second foul on Kubai. Jada Boyd, best athlete according to Wes on the roster. Got to get minutes, got to get points.
Well, she's got an energy about her, and he started her at the beginning of the year, and then she had the injury and had to step away for 4 games. He's always trying to find minutes for her, but she's explosive. He calls her his 6th star. He's got 6 starters. He really could play a combination of 6 players in the starting role.
Boyd has 8 points and 4 for 4 from the free throw line.
Yeah, now I'm telling you, she hasn't even played 8 minutes, and she's got that kind of production.
Perez misfires. Trying to go right down Broadway is Carter. Unstoppable, and the foul.
Well, I love that right there by A.C. Carter, the 5'10" freshman. She's saying, you're going to step in front of me for a charge? No way, I'm going to step around it.
Crutchfield picked up the personal. Carter was 6 of 8 to start the night from the free throw line. Freshman from Norcross, Georgia. Averages just over 4 points per game. Pretty drive to the rim to get 2. Boyd forces the issue. I mean, she just bulldozed her way.
With contact, like playing through the chest of Carter.
Boyd at 6 points and 9 boards in the win against Miami. That's a 3. Watch out for Carter. She'll go above her season average in scoring with that 3-pointer. Just the second made 3 of the season for Carter. 3:45 to go in our second quarter. Perez. Not sure if she was intending to pass it to Boyd, but she helped out inside, and Boyd lays it in.
In a crowd, comes down with a rebound, and quickly off her feet to score.
And that'll fall through. It's Carter again.
Carter's made 3 baskets in a row for Georgia Tech. And you know why? Because they're playing in transition. They're looking to score quickly before NC State gets organized defensively.
Debbie, she had only attempted 7 shots all year prior to this. And it had made 3. The other end again, a bucket. for Boyd. So it's Boyd against Carter right now, pretty much. Carter has 7 points. Boyd has 14 and leads everybody. Lotzinen is a double-digit scorer for Georgia Tech with 10, despite that miss. And she's the only Georgia Tech player in double digits in our first half.
Canane post up, gets her second personal. She's trying to get a deep seal early, and you see she shoves off right there. Good job of calling that foul.
Ran into Adenas, and so she'll have to go to the bench area, socially distanced with those chairs. Spread out. Canane 7 points in the game as she heads to the bench. Bates is back in there, number 3. Leading three-point shooter for this Georgia Tech team. Drive, a spin out for Lotzinen. Brown-Turner. Perez, baseline. Looking for the feed. And it'll fall for Jones from Perez.
NC State with 3 players in double figures already.
Pack gets it back. Perez. Flip it into Hobby. Face-up jumper. And Hobby hits it.
Listen, Camille Hobby is one of the hardest working players that Westmore has. Usually, and last year, she would be the first player out and the last player to leave the practice court. This year, they're not allowed to shoot as much. You know, they've got protocols they've got to follow.
Hobby had her career high of 12 points against Coastal Carolina earlier this season for the Pack. Closing in on the final minute of the first half. NC State led by 13 after the first quarter, 26-13. Now 54-25. Jones. How about the dribbling by Jones, and then a foul called against Georgia Tech.
You know, Kayla Jones's play this year is no surprise at all to me. I'm watching her last year develop in that 4 spot. Look at the handle right here. This is what you would consider a 4 player. Now, let me throw something at you, Tom. There are stretch floor 4s, stretch 4s, and there are hybrid 4s. Okay, here's what the difference is to me. A stretch 4 can stretch the floor and shoot the 3. What Westmore has in Kayla Jones is a hybrid 4. She can handle, she can shoot the 3, she can make decisions with the basketball. It's not just a catch and shoot. Stretch 4.
Although she misses her first 2 free throw opportunities, 14 points, tied with her teammate Boyd for the lead.
I'm going to be quizzing you on that later, okay?
Stretch 4, hybrid 4, floor, 4. On the floor.
On the floor.
Got it.
Stretch versus the hybrid.
So it was about a 4 to 5 second difference, game and shot.
Last time they went 1-4 low, 1-on-1 with Kai Crutchfield on the top. Now they're going to their horn set.
Not surprisingly, NC State is 7-0 with the halftime lead, which they will have again tonight here at Georgia Tech. Crutchfield lost the handle. Did she get the shot away? Didn't matter. She missed it at the end of the clock. And now at the end of the game clock, a miss for Georgia Tech. 54-25. NC State with the lead, shooting 63% in that first half. 54-25, halftime from Atlanta. What a first half for the Wolfpack, shooting 63% and extending that lead from the first quarter to the end of the first half. 54-25, the Pack and the Yellow Jackets. First and foremost, Happy New Year, Debbie Antonelli. And hopefully 2021 will be an improvement from 2020, and we get to our postseason tournaments. We know one team out of the ACC, though, will not be involved, and that'll be the Duke Blue Devils. They decided to shut it down.
Right. The players opted out, and the ACC supported that decision. The players had, in a report by the Raleigh News and Observer, said that the players had asked for more testing, and the ACC said that they had, following with the protocols that they had from the MAG, the Medical Advisory Group, which is headed by a Duke doctor, by the way. So Duke opted out, and so that means that they're not on the schedule any longer. Those games will not be replaced on anybody's schedule in the ACC, and when it comes to the ACC tournament, they will go on winning percentage to be able to seed the teams.
Another interesting factor will be the teams that are playing. What will be the criteria as far as postseason is concerned? Now, the number that's thrown around now is that you need to play at least 13 games, and then we'll go from there. But we've seen that things are flexible, fluid. You just don't know as we progress towards the end of the season, which we hope we have.
Right. Flexible is the key word here, right? I mean, there's a lot of change in the schedule. There's a lot of turmoil, change. Things happen, and you have to be flexible. And, I mean, look at Jeff Wallace. He's been searching for teams to play. He's been struggling to find enough teams. You know, there is a 13-game minimum to be eligible for the NCAA tournament, but that's the only piece of criteria we know. And I have polled coaches all across the country. Nobody seems to know what criteria the NCAA will use to evaluate who gets in and how they will seed teams. And it will be critical as we move towards San Antonio for the entire women's tournament to go there.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you look even forward past that, is the fact that this year does not count as far as eligibility is concerned for these student athletes.
Right. There's no eligibility concern this year because this year's free. It's like it didn't exist for the players. So what will happen now is that there's an open transfer market. You know, you can transfer whenever you want, and you can be eligible immediately. And it's going to play a role in the game. Now, other sports have become accustomed to doing that. Volleyball and tennis or golf, those players, they transfer and they can play right away. It's something new in college basketball that everyone's going to have to get used to, but we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, it's sure to have a big impact on the game moving forward. Debbie, outstanding thoughts as we head towards 2021 and our second half. The Pack 54, the Jackets 25. Back at McCamish Pavillion, the halftime lead is 29 for the Pack, although Georgia Tech did have one player get to double digits in the first half. Lotabai Lahtinen.
Well, she did a terrific job reading that middle pick and roll in the middle third. She scored off the bounce. She hit a couple of triples. She's got 10 first half points for Georgia Tech. On the other side, NC State goes to work. Jada Boyd, 14 points in 8 minutes. Westmore puts her anywhere, and she can be productive. She is good off the bounce. She's got a great mid-range and a motor on the glass. And then Jakia Brown-Turner, she had 13. She hasn't missed. She's 5 for 5 from the floor. She's got a couple of triples, and she's made her free throw as well. And then Kayla Jones, I mean, come on, first team All-ACC. How many can NC State have? They might have 3. Kayla Jones has been terrific. She's good off the bounce. She's got 14. She is 6 for 7 from the floor. And Nell Fortner's defense has contested. They have tried to contain, but NC State's balance and their ability to share and spread the floor has been outstanding in the first half. That is 63% shooting, well above their season average of 48% for the Pack, which is still second best in the ACC. They have come to play tonight and also leading in points in the paint. Melissa Kinane, their leading scorer, has just 7 points. They've got a big lead at halftime. More to come from McCamish Pavillion, ACC women's basketball. Pack on top during the halftime break, moments away from the start of that third quarter. Alyssa Kinane is the leading scorer for NC State, almost 16 points per game. Just 7 tonight, limited minutes, 3 of 5 from the floor, and she missed her only 3-point attempt, Debbie. Well, how about when your All-American can play 11 minutes in the first half, and you can be up by the amount that NC State is winning by because they have great balance and takes the pressure off of Alyssa Kinane. She doesn't have to do everything. And on the other side, Lorella Kubai, she's had a couple of fouls. She's been called for some fouls in screening and some rebounding fouls. I think she needs to be more aggressive, demanding the basketball in the second half. She is just 1 of 5 from the floor and missed her only 3-point shot attempt. Kubai again with just 2 points in the first half. Lahtinen was the only Georgia Tech player to get to double digits. 3 players, Brown-Turner, Jones, and Boyd,
Double-figure scores for Westmore in that first half for NC State, building a big halftime lead. 29 points. They led by 13 after the first quarter. And Lotamai Lahtinen with the 10 points. AC Carter injected some energy into the offensive flow for Georgia Tech. There she is, number 15 right there.
And it's good to see Kiara Fletcher back after missing most of the entire start of the season. This was her first minutes, and she's a player that has experience, and she's got a skill set that, quite frankly, Nell Fortner needs on the floor. And you know, if you're Georgia Tech, you're looking at this like, you know, can we cut this thing in half by the start of the fourth quarter and get it to a manageable, workable number?
You know, remember, Georgia Tech also without their freshman sensation, Loyal McQueen.
That's right. Loyal McQueen is not available to play. And that's what I think Georgia Tech needs to do right there. Nell Fortner starting the second half with both bigs, Kubai and Hermosa. I think they need to pound away on the interior and establish their baseline.
Georgia Tech following the health and safety protocols established by the ACC, and Lahtinen knocked that one away. This is Fletcher. And Kubai couldn't finish off the play, but the possession preserved by Lahtinen. She's got a defender on her hip, and she'll earn free throws. She's going to the line after the drive and contact. Lotamai Lahtinen to the free throw line. Junior from Helsinki, Finland.
I mean, she's very good at turning the corner, and when she turns the corner, she sees Cunane and goes right at her.
Third foul on Perez on the drive by Lahtinen. First free throws of the night for Lotamai. So she's now 8 of 10 on the season from the stripe. So Georgia Tech putting the first 4 points on the board. Cunane on the block, spinning, bouncing out. Fletcher had a couple of early baskets in that first half. Bates is in there as well.
Yeah, let's see if Bates can shake free for a three. She needs to work to get open.
Only took 1 3 and missed it in the first half.
Much better job by Kai Crutchfield to stuff that penetration.
Kubai side rim on the 3 attempt. Cunane. Patience from Brown Turner. Turns around. Can't get it over the front rim.
Her first miss of the game.
Lahtinen from way outside. Fletcher offensive glass, and Kubai wants to set it up. Fletcher stepping back and ripping the ropes for 3.
Yeah, Fletcher's a competitor. She is an experienced ACC guard.
Three-pointer for Fletcher, first of the season. It's a 7-0 run to start the half for Georgia Tech. Don't forget Fletcher, 2018, part of the ACC all-freshman team. Foul called against Georgia Tech defensively.
Watch Kubai does a little bit of penetration to draw some help. Kayla Jones late on the closeout. Fletcher not known as a three-point shooter. Maybe she worked on that in the offseason.
Georgia Tech is a team not bad from beyond the arc this year. 34%, 5th in the conference. That was Brown Turner on the driving foul.
But you cannot bump Jakia Brown Turner off her line. If she decides that she's going to the basket, she is a really good straight line driver for NC State. She doesn't round the cuts off. Very efficient, very little wasted motion.
So Fletcher got that last foul. Prior to that, Kubai picked up her 3rd foul with Brown Turner at the free throw line. She now has 14 points. So 3 NC State players with 14 points in Brown Turner, Jones, and Boyd. Fletcher coming out of the game with 7 points, 1 for 2 from three-point distance. Bates just can't get free. Now a little bit of daylight. That one rims off, knocked out of bounds, and Georgia Tech might keep it.
Yeah, Denise Brooks is coming in, and she's going to communicate with the official and say, you know, it goes the other way. It's a good job by the officials to come together to get it right.
So it is NC State ball. You talked about Fletcher not being a three-point shooter, Debbie?
Yeah.
Just 2 of 15 all of last season for Fletcher, but she's got one tonight. They're going to need that if they can come back. Kanane lost the handle. Jones got it back. Was Jones standing on the end line when she got possession? Yeah,
you know what, Tom? I'm a huge fan of senior guards. I mean, think about what Fletcher has done here in her career. She's probably going to cross over 1,000 points before the season is over, or she should, if they get enough games in.
That'll be the question mark. That's exactly what Coach Fortner said to us. Remember, they haven't played in quite some time. December 13th at Notre Dame was their last action. They're 4-1 record and 2-0 in conference play, but they've run into a strong performance right now from NC State.
You think Fletcher wants to get back in the game? She looks like she wants to play to me. And you see right there, Jakia Brown-Turner with a little extra bump on that cut.
Crutchfield picked up the foul.
Or excuse me,
it was Crutchfield. Yep. Kanane, the anticipation in the passing lane. Georgia Tech got it back. One bounce, but goodbye. And she calculates the angle. Correction, Hermosa on the move.
Hermosa's got a couple of baskets deep in the paint in the second half.
Now she guards Kanane. Trying to work her way inside. Ducks under and lays it in.
Long, athletic. Knows she's got a one-on-one. Knows she needs to score. Listen, Kanane only has 7 assists all season. She's not out there to pass.
9 points now for Kanane.
Watch this right here. Sizes it up. Look at all the space she has to operate. Bates shows a little bit of a dig. Not enough to deter. Really strong take.
So Boyd will re-enter the game as Jones leaves. 14 points for Jones. 14 points for Boyd.
Yeah.
Kanane with the foul.
Hermosa this time posting up hard. You got to put pressure on Kanane on the offense with your offense. You've got to attack her again. Hermosa, look, she's digging in. Or, excuse me, she's ducking in.
NC State has the arrow.
And see, there wasn't enough space to make that pass. It's the right idea by Hermosa. What you have to do as a post player is you have to be on top of that, and you have to beat her to the spot.
They won't have to do it tonight, but the Wolfpack had a tremendous win December 13th at Boston College. They won 75-69. They trailed by 16 points, Debbie, with just over 6 minutes to go. They came back and won it. Outscored BC 28-9 in that fourth quarter. And those are the games where you find out what your team is made
of. That's exactly right. On the road at BC, you find out how tough your team is. They made enough winning plays in that game.
There's Bates, and that's a 3.
And Nell Fortner told us that Sarah Bates played about 5 minutes a game last year, and she told Bates in the offseason she needed her to become a consistent three-point threat, and she worked at it, and she's getting quality minutes this year.
15 made threes for Bates, leads the team. Hermosa made the play defensively at one end, and the basket at the other. Chance at a three-point play for the Yellow Jackets.
What a good job by Nell Fortner to have her team ready to start the third quarter.
So we'll take a timeout prior to the free throw attempt. 4:51 to go in the third from Atlanta, Georgia. Back out in front, 4:51 to go in the third quarter. Since we're about to change the calendars and on to the new year. It's time for Debbie's Season of Giving.
I was being generous, so I came up with an idea for all these coaches, right? For Joanna Burnaby-McNamee, I'm going to give her a wishbone or a two-headed coin because that woman needs some new luck, okay? She needs to change her luck. Amanda Butler, 2 small children, a private chair at the beach this summer.
Nice.
Carol Lawson, her team needs a compass. They've been a little bit lost, right? They lost the season. They're lost.
They will find their way. Brooke
Wyckoff, just a night on the town. You know, she's a mom. She's got a daughter. You know, she just needs a night on the town. And Nell Fortner needs some studio recording time. It's time for Nell on Wheels Christmas CD 2021. I'm expecting one in my stocking. Jeff Walls, a Roto Razor saw. Jeff, I looked this up for you. It's a saw that can do 7 different things. And he makes things with wood.
Kind of like Dana Evans.
He makes tables. He makes chairs. I don't know all the things. He does shelves. He does all kinds of things. Katie Meyer, this is going to get a sign. This parking spot belongs to me for one of her boats, just because. And then Courtney Bangert got a new basketball goal in the ground at her house. Santa gave it to Courtney, not her 3 kids.
Nice.
So I'm getting Courtney a pump and a basketball net because I know she's going to wear it out in the driveway.
And there are more gift-giving options to come for the rest of the coaches because it's Debbie's Season of Giving.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to be generous, right?
You are a generous person, Debbie.
Always being a thoughtful teammate.
We should figure out how much it would cost for you to buy all this stuff for all these coaches.
I would like to experience some of those things with some of those coaches. I wouldn't mind being on Katie Meyer's yacht.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Jeff can make me a table if he wants.
Lawton in the steal. She got fouled and laid it in. Lotamai on the drive.
I mean, what an incredible third quarter. NC State has been outscored here in this third quarter. It's a 16-3 Tech run. What an incredible job by Lotamai Lotman to stay aggressive off the bounce. And all of a sudden now you got some game pressure on the Wolfpack. It is now a 15-point game.
Her first missed free throw of the night. She'd made both of her previous attempts. That's into the backcourt and evidently deflected. Although Lofton was protesting, that's almost intercepted by Fletcher as she taps that one over to Westmore.
Okay, so NC State has lost a measure of their aggressiveness, right? They were playing so well in the first half. 56% in the game right now from the floor, just 17% and 1 basket in the second half.
Brown Turner driving and putting it into that noise. Made that look easy.
She makes everything look easy.
She does. Hermosa turned into a double team. And Hobby was there defensively. Hermosa's been a big part of this.
She sure has.
Here in the second half.
You know what? I love that Nell Fortner counters with 2, goes with her big lineup to start the third quarter, and Hermosa has delivered. She and Kubai have been punishing on that front line, which we knew they could.
Second foul on Jones. Hermosa 1 of 2 from the line and 7 points. And make it 8 as she continues to climb above her season average of 5.6 points per game for the sophomore. 6'5" center. Vitoria, Spain, north central Spain. 350 kilometers north of Madrid. Jones is open. That was for 3. Boyd over the shoulder, the no-look layup.
So good. Such a great traffic rebounder. She can rebound a basketball over her head, but she can get a rebound that's not right over her head and not quite in her area.
16 points for Boyd off the bench. Fight for the second chance for Georgia Tech, but NC State comes away with it with Jones now. Perez has 4 points in the game, Debbie.
So coming off the timeout, NC State has definitely picked back up their offensive tempo, and putting Jada Boyd in the game has a lot to do with tempo at any time in the game.
18 points for Boyd. That's way above her season average of 8.5 points per game.
Well, let's see if Georgia Tech can respond here, because they got it to 15. Now it's back up to 20.
Lawton in the miss. Here's Jones. Drops it for Perez.
Yeah, she gave Perez the basketball in a tough spot.
It's an easy layup.
And then when your point guard misses at the rim, there's not enough back on defensive balance. Great push by Georgia Tech up the floor.
Hermosa finished off the play, and now she has double digits with 10 points. Jada Boyd has tied her career high with the 18. Trying to make a move inside. She stumbles, hits the court, and gets fouled. Aldenas picks up the foul. 2:06 to go in the third quarter. It's her second personal. She'll exit the ball game. So Boyd is at the free throw line, and these free throws could give her a career high for the sophomore.
So impressive in her third game back. We mentioned she missed 4 games with a bit of a knee injury, and Wes Moore is pleased to have her back. Calls her his most athletic player.
Boyd was not part of that win, Debbie, against #1 South Carolina in early December, 54-46 at South Carolina in Columbia.
You beat the #1 team on the road, and you're missing one of your 6 starters. Impressive.
I think the defensive effort, holding South Carolina to 46 points, that hadn't been done since 2013.
Well, the game wasn't well played by either team. They both would admit that. And look at Lottman. I mean, aggressive, turning a corner. And Nell Fortner talks about her being on the Finnish national team. If they had qualified for the Olympics, she would be on their Olympic team. She's smart. She's balanced in her attack. She can score on a closeout. She's got incredible three-point range.
So Lahtinen finishes off the play. She's hit double digits for the 4th time this season. And Lahtinen now with 17 points. More points than anybody except Boyd, who's got 20. Turnaround, Brown-Turner. Cunane offensive glass.
What a rebound. She rebounded that ball with one hand. I like the toughness of Cunane. She has gotten much more physical around the rim, tougher. We know what kind of competitor she is. Watch this rebound right here. Comes right down the top, in traffic. That's just what you call want to.
It's a great angle from up on that rim, right behind the backboard, and you can see the determination on her face. And now Cunane, 11 points and 4 rebounds, and 3 for 4 from the free throw line. So Cunane 8 times this season, double digits now, Debbie, and 58 times in her career getting into double-figure scoring for Elisa Cunane.
I don't know if she'll catch Gina Beasley, the all-time leading scorer in the history of NC State.
That's the 5th on Crutchfield, so she's disqualified. Lahtinen at the free throw line. Crutchfield leaves, did not score in the game, 0 for 3 from the floor, and 3 boards. Lahtinen continues to rack up the points. 18 now and 4 of 5 from the line.
She had 10 at the half. She's got 9 in the third quarter.
So Crutchfield out with the 5 personals. Lahtinen coming off that 19-point performance to the win against Notre Dame.
A good job by Georgia Tech to blow that play up. I mean, that is a design, reject the screen, so Cunane can re-screen, and you try to get Perez coming over on the top for a 3-point shot.
It was a win at Notre Dame for Georgia Tech on December 13th, its last action.
Notre Dame got a win today to go to 500 in league play.
Irish get the win against Miami by 11, and Florida State beat Virginia Tech in Blacksburg 73-63. North Carolina-Syracuse postponed from tonight's schedule, and Pitt and Boston College, the Pitt program, will be on pause, and that'll affect their upcoming schedule as well. Bates picked up the foul. Perez at the line.
Yeah, Pittsburgh going on pause. They'll miss 3 ACC games. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, I'm not worried about Louisville, but it's going to be, if Jeff Walls' team can get to 13 games, if they don't get to 13 games, are you really going to keep them out of the NCAA tournament? I mean, come on. We're going to call in the Big Ten football commission if that happens to Ohio State.
This season is certainly a different animal than anything we have ever seen. Lautinen got the steal. Brown Turner and Jones trying to fence her in. Can't do it. Here's Bates. 29-point halftime lead. It's now 19 final seconds of our third quarter. Shot clock off. Lautinen takes a glance at that clock. Ready to start the offense. Closing seconds of the third.
They switch out of their man to zone.
Bates got it away, but it was well defended. And so that'll do it for the third. 19-point advantage onto the fourth, and NC State out in front of Georgia Tech.
ACC Hoops is brought to you by Coyote Tractor. We dig dirt.
Back in Atlanta, and a 19-point lead for the Wolfpack as we start the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech trying to chip away, but what a performance tonight from Jada Boyd coming off the bench. 20 points. She is our Coyote Tractor turning point. She made it happen.
I mean, she's impressive, right? Instant energy, mid-range jump shot. She's on the glass. She's got a great motor. She has a change of pace. She's got a burst of speed.
Career high in scoring and just a rebound away from a double-double. Should we continue the season of giving, Debbie? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what else we got.
I know what else we got. Let's show everybody else what it is.
Here we go. Wes Moore. I'm going to give him a year of car washes for that red Corvette he drives around Raleigh. And
Cool.
DL Ivy, I'm giving you a private driver so you can drive back and forth from South Bend to Purdue to watch your son play while you're watching film.
Very nice.
Lance White, your glass is always overflowing. You need a whole pitcher. You've got so much enthusiasm, so I'm going to get you a glass pitcher. Quentin Hillsman, man, the mask rack versus the tie rack. I mean, he's styling all the time. Tina Thompson, I'm getting you a publisher because I don't know if you're going to publish a book on food or fashion and or both, and Quentin could probably help you with that. And then Kenny Brooks, man, you're going to get a new tally board for your office because I want everyone to see publicly how many times you've beaten our colleague, Corey Alexander, who's your cousin, in horse.
Well,
I want that on display.
Yep.
And then Jen Hoover, she's getting a bale of hay and a bag of carrots so she can take her daughter, Maggie, to the horse barn because that's what Maggie likes to do is ride horses.
Debbie, very generous in the season of giving.
I really wanted to get Wes Moore a new golf putter, too, because...
Didn't he say he just played 3 rounds in Tennessee recently?
Did. I got a new Spider putter, and I figured Wes could teach me how to use it because I'm not very good with it right now.
There you go. Practice, Debbie. Practice.
Yeah.
Reps. Get the reps.
We asked
I'm
Wes,
a little go ahead.
Well, we asked Wes what he got his wife Linda for Christmas, and he said he got her a bunch of tennis shoes. Like, you know, I'm like, really? What did you get her?
Maybe
That's what I got her.
Is that what she asked for?
He said Linda gets whatever she wants. I know Linda is watching, and Linda, go out and buy yourself whatever you want tonight on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Live it up. Have a good time.
Enjoy. We certainly extend our best wishes to everyone as we close in on the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021 with hope and promise. Just around the corner, Debbie.
You know, we love talking to Wes Moore, right? I mean, he's a golly gee, shucks kind of guy, right? And he's fun to be around. He's got a great basketball team, and he knows it. He's trying to keep it light and fun and amidst all the chaos that we have right now in our world. But he said Linda's at home taking care of Jake. Jake's his dog. He said he loves Jake. Jake's getting old. The last time Jake growled at him was the last time he lost to North Carolina. So he said he better come home with a win tonight so Jake doesn't get upset.
It appears to be well in hand, but you just never know with 9:01 to go. Boyd at the free throw line. Westmore has 176 and probably tonight 177 wins as the 8th-year head coach of NC State. 734 career victories. 24 career postseason appearances. Sweet 16s in 18 and 19. 28 wins last year. ACC tourney champs for the first time since '91. They'll always think about what that team could have done beyond the ACC tournament last year.
They were playing so well at the end. There were a lot of teams playing well at the end. They certainly wanted to be in the conversation along with South Carolina, which is probably where they would have been the 2 seed. Oregon, of course, they're a great team. There are a lot of really good teams that were playing well at the end of last year.
He mentioned that, too. He said a lot of teams are in the same boat, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes this year, you know, so much appreciation and so grateful for having the opportunity to play. And that's why he's trying to keep it fun. He knows his team is having fun. He enjoys coaching this group. They enjoy being together, and they've spent a lot of time together.
Ace Koenig was the MVP of the tournament last year for the Pack, which won that championship game against Florida State 71-66. They beat Georgia Tech in the quarterfinals of last year's tournament after Georgia Tech had beaten NC State in the regular season. That was February 16th when they won at NC State, which at the time was ranked number 4 in the country. 65-61. Francesca Pond, another player who's graduated from the Georgia Tech program, had 30 points, a career high in that game, and a win on the road for Georgia Tech at NC State.
Yeah,
the story tonight, though, Debbie, a little bit different.
Nell Fortner was telling us today how much she misses Francesca Pond. What a great player she was in her 4-year career at Georgia Tech.
Well, they hadn't beaten NC State since 2013 prior to beating them in the regular season. I mean, a year ago.
Jada Boyd and Jakia Brown-Turner are such incredible matchup nightmares for most teams in the ACC. I can't wait to see the Louisville-NC State matchup on January 17th. I mean, if things hold as they are right now, it could be the number 2 and the number 3 teams in the country meeting.
NC State will next take on Boston College, and we referenced that comeback win at BC in mid-December for NC State, so they'll get together again in Raleigh.
Backcourt violation by the Wolfpack, not getting the ball over midcourt. Kubai, nice job of attacking Cunane. High off the glass with her offhand.
Debbie, the schedule this year, understandably, a little bit quirky sometimes. And especially when Georgia Tech goes to Notre Dame on December 13th and wins, and their next game, Sunday, January 3rd, is at Notre Dame. So they'll play there twice against the Irish. And they've already beaten them once this season. First win in Georgia Tech program history against the Irish.
That's what it's going to be this year, Tom. You got to be flexible.
Get the games on the schedule. Get us to Greensboro. Can't wait to get there. We'll bring you the early round action on your regional sports network. Debbie already said she's going to be there, so I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I'm planning on being there. Are you kidding me? I can't wait.
It'll be the 44th ACC tournament in Greensboro, March 3rd to the 7th. 21st time in Greensboro. It's been there 20 times in the last 21 years. It has a home in tournament town.
And the men moved their tournament to Greensboro this year as well. So back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, they got canceled on the second night of action a year ago. They were supposed to be in Washington this year. That's been pushed back a few years. Greensboro and Barclays Center also in the mix for them.
Congratulations to Jim Phillips, too, the new commissioner of the ACC. What a great guy he is, and replacing John Swafford, who is a legend in the league. I mean,
I know I wouldn't be sitting here without John Swafford. I can tell you that
That's
right
right. Me neither. I mean, he did an incredible job in many different ways in elevating the league and elevating the student athletes individually as well. The ACC network is because of him.
While the basketball season continues, who knows? Maybe the ACC celebrates a national championship in football as well, Debbie. You never know. They got 2 teams in there with Notre Dame joining the conference this year.
I'm good with Trevor Lawrence and Amari Rogers and Travis Etienne.
They go up against Ohio State. Notre Dame has to take on Alabama. That's all tomorrow. Saturday, NC State's football program in the Gator Bowl against Kentucky. We had a lot of fun during the football season coming down here, calling games at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And Jeff Collins in his 2nd year as the head coach of the football program. A lot of good things happening in the ACC despite the pandemic and all the things and issues that has caused.
Good D by Hermosa.
We knew NC State was strong, Debbie. Did you think they'd have a performance like this tonight against this Georgia Tech team?
Well, I think when you have a team that's grateful and appreciates the opportunity to play, I think you realize it's limited and anything could happen at any time, so you come ready. And I think they enjoy it. They enjoy playing with each other, the way they share the ball, the way they have great balance. And I think Wes Moore coaches that. It's not just happens by accident. I mean, you have to coach balance and coach sharing the basketball.
The scoring is certainly balanced. Boyd leading the way with a career-high 26, but you got Brown Turner with 16, Jones with 14, Kanane had 11. Lahtinen, nice game for her, 21 points, and Hermosa also in double digits with 10. Late in the shot clock, and they'll get a 3. Kabai pumps up the 3 ball.
That's her 2nd triple of the season.
9 points for Kabai. Tough to contend with 55% from the floor for NC State in shooting for the game, despite that miss.
Well, Nell Fortner extends her pressure a little bit and tries to stretch out her defense. It results in them getting a stop.
You know, NC State, which usually makes about 8 threes a game, Debbie, didn't have to rely on that shot tonight. They've only made 4. Again, we wish everyone happy holidays and happy New Year. Stick with us for the final 441 from Atlanta, Georgia. The Wolfpack women wishing everybody happy holidays and happy New Year, and it's a happy night here in Atlanta for them. 75-57 for Wes Moore and the Pack. They're going to stay undefeated, Deb. And from there we go right to CPI Security, protecting the paint.
Boyd in the paint has been outstanding on the offensive end. She's put a lot of pressure on the Georgia Tech defense at the rim with her ability to go off the bounce and her ability to do this, rebound and finish in traffic. Terrific job by Jada Boyd. What a big game for her. 26 points and 10 rebounds. A double-double in her 3rd game back. And this is why Wes Moore talks about finding minutes for her on the floor.
34 points in the paint as a team for NC State. They average about 40 points in the paint per game. On average, 17 more than their opposition.
And Tom, while we've got a second, I want to send our condolences to the family of Billy Rental, one of the greatest Wolfpack fans I've ever met. A huge supporter of all Wolfpack sports. Billy passed about a month ago, and her family is incredible ambassadors for the university. Her husband, Lou, I know is listening and watching. They're huge NC State fans, and we're sorry for your loss. And NC State lost a great one, but we know she helped pull the Wolfpack through tonight. And I know she helped Kevin Keats get that win last night against Boston College.
BC with a furious comeback. We'll see them on your regional sports network. Most of you will see Boston College host Louisville in men's action on Saturday. Louisville, a recent win against Kentucky, but who in the ACC doesn't beat Kentucky, right? Wildcats are 0-4 against the ACC.
1-6 on the season, yeah. Kentucky Wildcats.
Interesting.
Now on the women's side, now Ryan Howard, one of the best scorers in the entire country. Yes. They're a top 10 team.
Well, you know, Josh Pastor's team beat North Carolina last night, so they beat North Carolina and Kentucky in December on the men's side for Georgia Tech.
You know, I was reading where Josh was talking about how he didn't have any contact drills and they lost their first 2 games, and then he went back to the. He's like, he wanted not to spread COVID, right? He had a reason for not doing it, and then he decided, you know what?
A couple of recent 3-pointers for Kubai, had only made 1 coming into the game on 6 attempts.
Man.
Brown Turner.
Does she even sweat? Does she break a sweat? She's so smooth.
I don't see anything. 3.5 minutes to go in the 4th, Deb.
It's interesting, you know, you got Lisa Cunane, who I call Big Smile, and I think that nickname has stuck, right? But Jakia Brown Turner has no smile. She's all business.
Lottanen with the drive. She's had an impressive night.
I'll tell you, the coaches around the ACC have found a little bit of an Achilles heel for NC State, and that is defending that middle third and that middle pick and roll. NC State has not handled that well tonight. And that gives Westmore something, not to keep him up at night, but we'll give him something to break down with his team tomorrow.
Remember, Lottanen had 27 points, a career high in the win against Boston College. And tonight, 31 and White has gone for 23 points. Brown Turner on the other side, 19 points, 3 of 3 from long distance. And as a team, NC State 5 of 11. Haven't really had to rely on that 3-point shot tonight. Georgia Tech's made 7 3-pointers on 25 attempts. Kubai has made a couple of threes, tries to drive this time, and comes up empty. Lottanen also has 10 rebounds. She had a double-double earlier this season against Georgia State with 14 points and 10 boards. She's done it again, 3rd career double-double. Lotamai Lottanen.
I mean, she's an excellent two-way guard. She leads the league in steals. And she's an incredible 3-point shooter. That combination of high IQ, toughness around the rim, range from outside the arc, defends.
And she speaks 4 languages. Finnish, Swedish, Russian, and English. Not bad. And she speaks the language of basketball as well. She'll go with the line with the drive. I don't see Italian on that list. So she's not talking to Kubai in Italian necessarily.
I'm sure they figure out a way to communicate.
La ringrazio, Debbie Antonelli.
Well, I think if you're Nell Fortner, you know, you break it down and you look at the second half, and this is what you show your team. You know, the good part, bad part of playing. And here's the international impact that you're speaking of, Tom. Italy, Finland, Spain.
Hermosa's had a nice game, too. Double digits with 10 points. Eccezionale. You know what that means, right? It's my favorite word in Italian.
You think I know Italian? I don't know anything about Italian.
Come on, Antonelli.
This is Mulligan over here.
Oh, Mulligan, that's right. I forgot. Eccezionale means excellent in Italian. Kubai and Hermosa combining defensively. Shot clock down to 5. We're inside of 2 minutes in regulation. A tough drive from Jones.
Man.
Got the job done and going to the line, Kayla Jones.
Multiple options late in the shot clock. Kayla Jones knows that she can score on Kubai. That is the hybrid 4 versus the stretch 4.
Oh, yeah, there was a quiz coming up on that, wasn't there?
Yes.
stretch and hybrid.
Hybrid is a player that is in the 4 spot, can handle, can make decisions, can get to the rim. Stretch 4 shoots the 3 as Lottinen knocks down another deep triple. That's the reason why I carry that tape measure around time. You know I still got it. I got the tape measure with me.
Unfortunately, Deb,
we can't go down there and measure.
Go to the floor. That's all right. Happy to be here in the arena. Lottinen now has 28 points. That's a career high for Lotamai Lottinen. 28 big ones tonight.
Good pass. Nice find. Jada Rice with the finish. That's that unselfish play that Westmore loves out of his team.
Jada Rice, the redshirt sophomore, getting some late run in this one. As that one will roll around the rim and drop for Lottinen. That's 30 points tonight on 10 of 22 shooting and 3 made threes. 7 of 8 from the line as well. Lotamai Lottinen, although Coach Westmore's team has been well out in front for most of this ball game, led by 29 at halftime and trying to cruise on to victory with 51 seconds left. Let us raise a glass and toast 2021 on New Year's Eve. Say goodbye to 2020 and welcome in the new year, Deb.
Goodbye 2020.
Good riddance. Goodbye. And a good way to start the new year for the NC State Wolfpack, certainly. Although Lotamai Lottinen has gone for 30 points tonight for Georgia Tech. NC State has gone to the bench. Genesis Bryant with the last basket, Deb.
It was.
Number 1, Genesis Bryant in there.
Freshman point guard getting some reps.
Fletcher just hit another 3. She's double digits tonight, too. 10 points. 4 players for Georgia Tech in double digits. So Boyd with 26, career high. Lottinen with 30, career high. She had set the career high with 27 against BC this season. And Boyd, impressive. And that's all coming off the bench for Boyd.
Both with double-doubles, both highly efficient players.
Second double-double of the season for Boyd. She was an all-freshman selection a season ago in the ACC.
You know, Georgia Tech, speaking of which, as you take a look at Jada Boyd, her work is done. She did a fantastic job tonight. NC State dominated this game. The score will be closer than what the actual outcome of the game appeared for 40 minutes. However, I think Nell Fortner did a great job in the second half, getting her team in the right frame of mind to compete. NC State shot it so well. You had to believe the percentages were going to come back.
The halftime lead was 29 for NC State. Yeah, they shot over 60% in the first half.
And, you know, Nell Fortner gets Kiara Fletcher back, but Loyal McQueen, who averages about 12 points a game, not available to play. I think Nell Fortner is going to like that big lineup that she started the second half with. It certainly made a difference because Hermosa came ready to go.
Second season for Coach Fortner, 11th overall. She was also the head coach at Purdue and Auburn, won a gold medal with Team USA and the Sydney Olympics in 2000 as the head coach of that team. Final 24 seconds from McCamish Pavillion. Traveling violation against the path. Huge thanks to our talented technical crew, production crew tonight here in Atlanta. and all the work that was done in 2020 to bring you these broadcasts, because believe me, it's already difficult. It got harder for all those talented people, and they made it happen in 2020, and we'll do the same for you in 2021, provided these games stay on the schedule and we get to Greensboro. So the number 3 team in the nation showing us why tonight. Led by 29 at halftime, and they win it 84-75. 9-0 for Westmore in the pack, number 3 in the nation. And they'll play Sunday against Boston College. They get the win tonight against Georgia Tech, 84-75. More to come from McCamish Pavillion in just a moment. $84-75, the final tonight. The pack stays undefeated. The Yellow Jackets dropped to 4-2. They played quite well in the second half. The problem was they were down by 29 at halftime to the pack.
Boy, NC State was terrific right at the start. I mean, to have that 29-point lead at halftime, and I thought Nell Fortner's team did adjust and play better in the second half. But tonight was all about NC State. The number 3 team in the country looked like it early. They were clicking on all cylinders, and when you look at the stats, they shot the ball well. They had great balance. They scored in the paint. They won the rebounding battle. They got some points off their turnovers and their defense. And I think NC State's defense is a little bit underrated, but tonight that middle third and that middle pick and roll gave them trouble. That'll be something that Westmore will look to correct in practice this week.
Yeah, the pack didn't really need the 3-point shot. Career nights, Jada Boyd, Lotamai Lahtinen, 26 points for Boyd off the bench, and Lahtinen gets to 30 points as both of them rack up double-doubles.
They played their roles, and they played their roles very well. And for NC State, Jada Boyd coming off the bench is a 6th starter for Westmore. He's talked about it all season long, trying to find minutes and ways to put her on the floor. The versatility of the team allows Jada Boyd to get extended minutes tonight. And then Lotamai Lahtinen did a great job of playing her role. Toughness around the rim and finishing off the bounce, knocking down triples with great range. I think Georgia Tech, with their size inside in the second half when Nell Fortner started Hermosa and Kubai and allowed Lahtinen to have a little more space inside because they demand so much attention on the interior. This is going to be a Georgia Tech team that's going to continue to get better, getting McQueen back, getting Fletcher healthy. This is going to be fun to watch them continue to evolve, because Nell Fortner did a heck of a job in the second half.
Yeah, they have to travel to Notre Dame for their next game. They've already beaten Notre Dame in South Bend. So that takes us right to the standings. When we started the night, both of these teams were undefeated in conference play. NC State moves to 4-0. Georgia Tech, its first loss in the ACC tonight against the Pack.
Well, and Georgia Tech's other loss on the season is an overtime loss to their rival Georgia, and Georgia's undefeated going into SEC play, so that's not a bad loss. Tonight's not a bad loss. It's an opportunity to learn and grow, and the next opportunity to get to play, you're thankful for, and you give it your best 40 minutes.
Absolutely, and for NC State, their next game against Boston College, a team they had to come back against in Chestnut Hill to get that come-from-behind win, perhaps one of their most challenging games of the entire season, where they are still now, Debbie, they're perfect 9-0.
Yeah, NC State looks good. I mean, I said at the very beginning of the game, they check all the boxes for what could be a Final Four potential team. I like the way they share. I like the way they run the floor. I think they've got great balance and depth. And Georgia Tech is going to continue to get better. Don't be sleeping on Georgia Tech and Nell Fortner's team. I'm telling you right now, they'll be fine.
Notre Dame and Clemson, road games coming up for Georgia Tech. So once again tonight, it was a dominating performance by NC State. Georgia Tech had a strong second half, but in the end it was an 84-75 win, and Jada Boyd led the way with 26 points for NC State. Lotamai Lahtinen, a career high 30 points, not quite enough. Don't forget men's action. Louisville Boston College get it started on Saturday at noon. That's followed by Clemson and Miami, and that's at 2. For Debbie Antonelli and our outstanding ACC women's basketball production crew, I'm Tom Wormy. So long from Atlanta, Georgia. It's the Pack over the Jackets at McCamish.